Hi, Britton. How you doing? All right, great job describing your decisions behind the three different typeface choices, or there's three different sketches. I think that to a high degree is it really defines the success of your setup, your kind of methodological approach to the assignment. So I found your writing to be very good, very well thought out. Now let's go ahead and jump right to your examples. So basically, the bullet running through the type is that's going to be really difficult to execute. And the reason being is because as if you're just going to design a title for the book or for the poster, that's great. This will work fine, right? But this is defined. You're designing a typeface, a whole typeface. So it's going to be almost impossible to design letters, both uppercase and lowercase, that have this kind of bullet running through them. Do you see what I'm saying? Then you're confronted with the issue of if this is the bullet path going through them. Okay, so how wide do you make the path with each individual letter? And if you track or turn the letters too widely, these could potentially separate depending on how wide they are. Okay, so as I said, it's for a basic title design. I think this is fine, but it's not going to work. It's going to be very, very difficult for to design a whole typeface on that concept right there. This I think is interesting. I see the lifeline there. I'm not so much seeing that the lifeline is going to work itself because we're confronted with the same situation of having this kind of common design element running through all of the letter forms. Therefore, how do you separate the letter forms and still keep this kind of lifeline intact? Do you see what I'm saying? So I think this is interesting using these kind of different angles and that run through each of the letters. And the reason I say that is it kind of represents this kind of good versus evil thing that that we see in the movie and over and over and over again. And this whole premise based on good versus evil. And I think that the Die Hard, I think that these two, all three of them, I think actually stand up quite nicely to the main character, John McCain, in that he is very, very persistent. There's no quit at all. These are very stoic and all three of them are very powerful typefaces. So I think that connection is quite nice in itself. Okay, so those are my recommendations. I would go ahead and replace this one with a different sketch for your final solution for assignment one, final submission. And then this one too, I'd just like to reconstruct this without the lifeline running between the letters, but just try to establish this kind of dichotomy in each letter form, just in the individual letter forms. Okay. And then I think this is really interesting. I really do. I think it's love the fact that it's on an angle like that, but again, that's going to be really difficult to establish a typeface that runs on an angle, which is no problem because once you establish the typeface itself, you can go ahead and assemble the words accordingly. So I think this one's got a lot of potential too. So go ahead and address those comments and resubmit for your final submission for week one, and then just go ahead and address the one that you're leaning towards using and give the reasons why. All right, fantastic work. Thank you.